All right, so I think you guys probably know this one. Anybody who's worth their salt in comic books recognizes this. It's a very famous one. This is Avengers number 4. Captain America lives again. So the previous 3 episodes were introducing the villain for Thor, the villain for Iron Man, and the villain for Giant Man and the Wasp. This one doesn't introduce the villain for Captain America, Captain America's Dark Analog. It really doesn't. But this is his revival. Like, for all of you, God, as if there's anybody who doesn't know at this point, Captain America went missing at the end of the Second Great War. He was lost in the ice caps and then eventually revived in modern times, where he would go on and continue to be a superhero in the Silver Age. This is the issue where that happens. Before this, the Avengers were Giant Man, Wasp, and then Iron Man, Thor, and the Hulk. The Hulk would leave, and then Captain America would show up and become a member. He would more or less become the leader. Also, there's Submariners in this issue. And Submariner is the villain in this one. Captain America's villain makes a very brief appearance. Blink and you'll miss it, but I'm going to point it out. But watch, you guys see. You guys will see. Captain America joins the Avengers. This is a 24-page epic. It's pretty good too. A tale destined to become a magnificent milestone in the Marvel Age of Comics, bringing you the great superhero which your wonderful avalanche of fan mail demanded. Step forward, Captain America. Your rightful place is here among the Avengers. That's right. Apparently, they were getting a lot of fan mail requesting that Captain America came back, so they brought him back. Editor's note: we sincerely suggest you save this issue. We feel you will treasure it in time to come. And boy, they are right. This is one of the most famous issues of Marvel Comics. The mighty Marvel Comics Group is proud to announce that Jack Kirby drew the original Captain America during the Golden Age of Comics, and now he draws it again. Also, Stan Lee's first script during those fabled days was Captain America, and now he authors it again. Thus, the chronicles of comicdom turn full circle, reaching a new pinnacle of greatness. Indeed they do. Remember the awesome battle between the Hulk, Submariner, and the Avengers in the last issue? After the mighty Hulk vanished, Submariner found the odds far too great. We're too late. He is getting away. Thinking himself betrayed by the Hulk, his hatred of the human race greater than ever before, the vengeful monarch of the sea returns to the deep. They have won the first battle, but the final victory will yet be mine, for I shall never rest until all of mankind pays the homage that is rightfully due to Namor, Prince of Atlantis. And that is one of the reasons why Namor is one of my favorite characters. He's not really a hero. He's kind of an anti-hero, but I love him. I love him because he's an asshole, and he's unashamed of the fact that he's an asshole. Deeper and deeper swims the tragic, almost human ruler of the sea, but nowhere in the vast, endless depths of the ocean does he find the peace he craves. And nowhere does he find his vanished race, the once proud, once mighty hordes of Atlantis who fled from Namor when they felt his loyalty was divided between them and the humans. They are gone, all gone. Will I ever find my people again? For a more detailed account, refer to Fantastic Four Annual Number 1, Submariner versus the Human Race. That is a very good one. If I ever do a Fantastic Four playlist, you can bet your ass that one's going to be on it. To the tireless Prince Namor, time and distance are almost meaningless, and so it is that we find him hours later standing atop an ice floe in the Northern Sea, still wrapped up in his own bitter thoughts. I will never stop searching. I'll never forfeit my birthright while a breath of life remains. But finally, his dark musings are interrupted as he sees, on the ice ahead, a human village. I see masses of accursed humans. And the keen-eyed Namor is right. A few hundred yards away, an isolated tribe of Eskimos bows down to a strange ritual. On a mighty lord of the frozen ice, hear our prayers. The fools, they are blowing to a petrified figure frozen within the cake of ice. Hear me, humans. This is no helpless image you see before you. This is Submariner, who has sworn vengeance upon the entirety of the human race. Then it is the dreaded Namor, the legendary one. Run, you weak, helpless mortals. Flee in terror before the rightful wrath of Namor. Thus shall all mankind one day shriek in panic at the coming of the Submariner. And take your accursed idol with you. Go spread the word. Let the world know that Namor is still a force to be reckoned with. Bah! And I am filled with shame and disgrace. Has the mighty Namor been reduced to fighting helpless, fearful primitives? And yet, his very soul is in turmoil. The frustrated, maddened Submariner lashes out, thoughtlessly, heedlessly, causing an avalanche of ice in his thunderous rage. Is this all my strength is good for? To lash out at uncomprehending Eskimos? Well, no, they comprehend. They know what you're doing. Run, flee the ice floe. We must reach the trading posts, and the world must be warned of Namor's rampage. The Sea Prince, he has gone mad. But what of the mysterious figure imprisoned within the blocks of ice? Silently it floats away, unseen, unheard, until it hits the warm waters of the Gulf Stream, where the rock-hard outer ice sheath begins to slowly melt. So yeah, it's Captain America. Freaking Captain America. He was in the Arctic being worshipped by Eskimos, and if not for Submariner being an asshole, nobody ever would have found him. So thank you, Submariner. Another wonderful thing you have done for comic books. Until, finally, naught remains but a frozen, petrified figure in a state of suspended animation. A figure which drifts past the undersea crafts of the Avengers. Stop the engines, Iron Man. There is something out there. It looks like a human, but how is it possible? Cautiously opening the airtight escape hatch, the huge hands of Giant Man seize the rigid figure. How can it be? Why is he frozen solid? Look, beneath his tattered clothes, some sort of colorful costume. Wait, don't you recognize it? It's the famous red, white, and blue garb of Captain America. My God, the Wasp is right. Can this really be the famous shield of the once mighty crime fighter? In his face mask, with the proud letter A on it, it must be him. All of you listen. He isn't dead, he's breathing. His eyes, they're flickering. And you guys at this point, if you guys have been following my channel, you've probably read enough of the Golden Age Captain America stories to understand why this is such a big deal. This is a huge deal. Suddenly, with an ear-splitting cry, the powerful figure springs upward with agonizing shock reflected in his eyes. Bucky! Bucky, look out! You can't kill him! You can't kill Bucky! I won't let you! I'll smash everyone! Thor! Iron Man! He's gone mad! But as suddenly as it started, the legendary hero's wrath subsides. It's useless, I remember now. He is long dead. He is, and nothing on earth can change that. And then, as realization dawns, the handsome head slowly turns, clear blue eyes take in the awesome figures surrounding him. But where am I? How did I get here? And who are you? Well, that's what we were about to ask you. Who am I? Oh, for a moment I had almost forgotten myself. But I am not lucky enough to forget. Forever. To forget that I was once the man the world called Captain America. Well, everything fits except one detail. You haven't been heard from since the Second World War. Why haven't you aged? I too have puzzled over the fact. How can the true Captain America still be as young as he stands before us? Is this some kind of trick, mister? You'll live to regret it. Oh, I've no need of tricks. Test me, try to conquer me. Look how he managed to dodge your ricocheting hammer, Thor. Stand back, I'll get him. Ah, you are big, my friend. But in the day I fought others who were still bigger, and I defeated them, just as I shall defeat you. Wow, he's a real ball of fire, and that's true. There were some very big ones. Do you remember when Golden Age Captain America fought against the Oriental Giants? He mostly lost, but he found a way. He got him. I've got to stop them before someone gets hurt. I'll take a growth capsule, and fast. Stop! Come no further unless you want to strike out at me too. A girl? But from where? Having halted his furious attack, Captain America's fighting mood seems to pass as a veil of sadness comes over his eyes. Well, we're convinced, fellow, you're the real McCoy, all right. But what happened to you, and why haven't you aged? I feel we are entitled to that explanation, Captain America, and indeed you shall have it. Slowly, almost haltingly, the incredible tale begins to issue forth from the lips of the mighty man with the tragedy-haunted eyes. It seems like only yesterday, but it was more than 20 years ago that my teenage pal Bucky and I were acting as security guards at an ETO army base. We tried to stop an explosive-filled drone plane from taking to the air. We're too late, Bucky. We'll have to go after it another way. No, don't stop. I think I can reach it, Cap. Ha! Thus do I triumph over Captain America and Bucky. If they reach the plane, they die, and if they fail, America loses one of its newest weapons. And that's him. That's the fellow that would then become the arch nemesis of Captain America. But clearly you can see that you can't fucking see anything. He's not really there. Oh, the boy has reached he has reached the plane, but Captain America himself, he cannot hold. And there he is, with his evil hand. But that's all you get to see right now. That's it. That's it. I can't make it. Drop off into the water, lad. Don't try to go it alone. No, I can't bring the plane back. I know I can. Bucky, let go. It might be booby-trapped. You can't deactivate the bomb without me. Drop it off. You're right, Cap. I see the fuse. It's gonna blow. And those were the last words that brave, wonderful lad ever uttered. May the Lord rest his soul. Bucky, it's exploded. Bucky is gone. And as for me, I didn't care if I lived or died. I struck the water off the coast of Newfoundland and plummeted like a rock, with Bucky's face etched before me, and that is the last thing I remember. He is gone, and I, with all my power, all my strength, I could not save him. As for the rest, by some fantastic stroke of fate, I must have been frozen in an ice floe, and then found by some Eskimos who thought I was a supernatural object. Then, all those years of being in a state of frozen suspended animation must have prevented me from aging. We believe in you, Captain America. Not long afterwards, as the red, white, and blue-clad figure rests below from his grueling ordeal, we have reached our destination. Prepare for mooring. So, that works. That checks out. Slow down, giant man. I can't match those big strides of yours, Looks like the gentlemen of the press were expecting us. They knew we went after the Hulk. They expected a big story. That was in the last issue. Too bad, we'll have to disappoint them. We had a bang-up fight, but no real results. But wait till they learn who our passenger is below decks. Then suddenly, unexpectedly, at the very split second, a blinding flash takes place far brighter than any ordinary flashbulb explosion should be. And after the smoke is cleared, the Avengers seem to be gone. In their places, the crowd sees 4 motionless stone statues. Pete, what do you make of that? It's probably some kind of trick the Avengers used to duck out of our interview. Bitterly disappointed, the reporters and photographers rush off, trying to find the Avengers as the crowd drifts away into nothingness. That's a pretty crummy trick to pull on us after us waiting all day for this interview. Let's go find them. They couldn't have gotten far. And then, minutes later, the last occupant of the undersea craft slowly climbs up the hatchway, having been awakened by the commotion above. But upon reaching the surface, he finds everyone gone. The pier deserted. But why? Why would they dash off without me? Strange. Those statues must be in honor of the Avengers. But they are not sculpted in typical poses. Oh well. It's no concern of mine. I have a whole new world to rediscover. A world which has advanced 20 years ahead of me. The girls are still as lovely as ever. But the fashions, the hairdos, how different they are. Yeah, basically. Sally, look. He resembles a figure I heard my father talk about, a mighty hero of years ago. Holy smoke. That can't be who I think it is. Of course, my older brother told me about him many times. It was Captain America. Yes. And the New York skyline, ever impressive, ever changing. What can this magnificent structure be, with all the world's flags around it? Hey, watch the lights crossing the street, Mac. The cars have changed, most of all, as they always do. We never had so many small ones in the 30s and 40s. Wait a minute, I know you. You're Oh no, it can't be, it's impossible. But I can't be wrong, I saw you once when I was a kid. I never forgot it. No, officer, you're not mistaken. I am Captain America. And all of these years, all of us, your fans, all your admirers, we thought you were dead. But it's you've come back, just when the world has need of such a man, just like fate planned it this way. Forgive me, Cap, I seem to have something in my eye. Later, after the officer has directed Captain America to a nearby hotel. I wonder if the youngsters of today, who have grown up with it, realize what a truly wonderful thing television is, to one who has never seen it before. Finally, the weary, lonesome man drops off to a fitful sleep. And what happens next? Can't return to my career as Captain America. It would be meaningless without Bucky. No, it wouldn't. Shut up. You're gonna do it. I don't belong in this age. In this year, no place for me. If only Bucky were here, if only. When suddenly, his super keen senses detecting a soft thread in the doorway, the startled blue eyes open wide. Bucky, it's you! You've come back, Bucky, you've come back! Oh, he's having PTSD ghosts. Yeah, I know what those are like. I don't know what you're yapping about, mister. My name's Rick Jones, and I followed your trail halfway across town. Tell me, you were the last to see the Avengers, and I gotta find them. So how about doing a little talking, huh? Oh, it's unbelievable. You're like his twin brother. Your voice, your face, everything. You could be Bucky's double. Look, fella, you're not reading me, are you? Gonna tell me what you know about the Avengers' disappearance? Or do you want me to mention your name to my pal the Hulk when I run into him again? I don't know who the Hulk is, lad, but if the Avengers are missing, I'll be glad to help you find them. Well, I didn't mean to throw you a curveball calling you Bucky. You see, he was once a close friend of mine, but he's gone now. I was wasting time mourning him, but you suddenly made me realize that life still goes on. In a way, Bucky can still live again. Yeah, look, fella, after we find the Avengers, I'm sure you could recommend a real nice head shrinker for you. Oh, he thinks I'm a madman. Well, I'll prove to him that I'm not. Pictures were taken of the Avengers at the dock. Get going. I need to study them. Yeah, Cap, right away. Well, all of a sudden he's changed. He acts like a guy who used to be obeyed. And fast. Alright, well. Minutes later, in a dark room belonging to one of Rick's Teen Brigade members. Oh yeah, the fucking Teen Brigade. The fucking Teen Brigade. Early Avengers stories, Rick Jones, being the Hulk's sidekick, was basically a member of the Avengers. This is kind of where that idea starts. He basically is sort of a new Bucky, kind of. He's the teenage analog. He's the Robin. These new pictures seem alright, but I'm not satisfied. Let's make enlargements. Yeah, there's an enlarger around here somewhere. Then it'll be ready in a minute. And that's more like it. That's what I wanted. Wait, it's getting clearer now, look! What is it? I don't see a thing. Oh, the press photog's camera ever looked like that, not even 20 years later. It looks like some kind of gun. Yes, and it's up to you now, son. If you want to learn what happened to the Avengers, you've got to find that man in the picture. Yeah, now you're talking my language, Cap. Just sit tight and watch my smoke. I'll alert my Teen Brigade all over the city. Within an hour, the search is on, as sharp-eyed teenagers cover the city seeking a pasty-faced man wearing oval sunglasses with jet black hair. Not much to go on, perhaps, but still a starting point for the Teen Brigaders. No, not him. Not black enough. Oh, no, he's too old. And then that guy's another false alarm, but I've got a half dozen snap to send Rick my way. To send Rick anyway. All these guys, all these teenagers remind me of the Human Torch. They all look like Johnny Storm. Then, racing through the vast city like an avenging streak, the nimble, seemingly tireless Captain America follows up each lead no matter where it may take him. It's like old times again being in costume, on the trail of some strange unknown menace. This is what I was meant to do. This is the destiny that I can never escape. Until finally, it's him, the one that we're after. Without a moment's hesitation, 200 pounds of fighting fury crashed through the shattering window. But in his eagerness, the attacking crime fighter has failed to notice the gunmen in the adjoining room. Gunmen who hear the crash and race to the scene, their weapons thundering. Get the costume clown, whoever he is. There will always be a chance you may get me, but a cinch, never. He sliced our guns into two with that shield. Oh, that's powerful. Who is this guy anyway? I've been called many things, but I've come to prefer the name Captain America. I should have known. I read about him when I was a kid. Yeah, he must be a phony. He's too young to be the real Captain America. Oh, there's no stopping him. He's just like a whirlwind. Yeah, that's cool. I always love this shit. How Captain America takes on like 10 guys at once. He's like a living wrecking ball. I love it. Because you got to understand, this shit is super common now, but back in the 60s, forget it. This kind of thing is crazy. Look at him. Just folded into people, just everybody trying their best to take him and failing. That's like some testosterone filled shit. There were young boys in the 60s who were loving this shit. Oof. If he's a phony, I'm Little Red Riding Hood. No one can pay us enough to fight him. Knock it off, masked man. We're gonna give up. And that leaves you, fella. You've got the key to the disappearance of the Avengers. But you'll never learn the secret. It's uncanny. He moves so fast my ray can't even strike him. That gun you used, it came from someplace other than Earth. And so I suspect you did too. Now talk while you still can. Very well. I see that further resistance is useless. After you have heard my story, you may feel pity for me instead of the raw hatred which I see mirrored in your eyes. And I was right, you're not a human. Holy cow, we've been working for, like, you guys didn't know? That's it, I'm headed for the straight and narrow from now on. They didn't realize they were working for fucking Broccoli Man over here. Now I'll tell you what I think those aren't statues of the Avengers. They are the Avengers, turned into stone by you when you used your ray on them while posing as a newspaper photographer. Admit it. Yes, you're right. Unhand me, I cannot bear physical contact with primitive beings. I come from a far distant galaxy. My name would be meaningless to you as Earth tongues cannot even pronounce it. Centuries ago, due to an engine failure, my spaceship crashed on Earth, embedding itself deep into the bottom of the sea. I meant Earthlings no harm. I roamed your planet, seeking someone to help me free my ship, but those who I saw feared me. They attacked me. In self-defense, I used my ray gun on them, turning them to stone for 100 of your Earth hours. Behold, it is a monster from the Netherworld. It must be slain. No, I need help. Stay back. So he turned them into statues? Oh, your hair. In the dark, you must have looked like a woman to them. And turning them to stone, that must be the origin of the legend of Medusa. But why did you use your powers on the Avengers? Because of the one who calls himself Submariner. He found me some days ago. He told me he would free my ship from the ocean's depths if I would turn the Avengers to stone. I had to do it. Submariner. I seem to remember that name from the dim past, but time enough for him later. First, you must bring the Avengers back to life, and we will free your ship for you. Oh, if only you mean it. If only I could believe you. Captain America does not lie. Let's go. Oof. They're really playing into that. Within minutes, the swashbuckling adventurer brings the defeated aliens to a warehouse where the statues have been stored. Then, facing the motionless figure, he directs his rays again at them. After first reversing the polarity, and it is working, they are returning to normal. Meanwhile, far beneath the surface of the sea, in his now deserted imperial castle, a furious, frustrated Prince Namor observes the scene above through his undersea scanner. And my plan has failed. The one who calls himself Captain America has robbed me of my victory. But this will teach me a lesson. Whatever the Submariner must do, he must do alone. I am still the most powerful mutant on Earth. Half human, half sea creature. My brain is agile, my energy inexhaustible. I must keep striking until the Avengers are destroyed. And then, a fickle fate seems to smile at Namor as he sees. A troop of my elite guards. They have not deserted me. They are searching for me. They see me. They are turning. They bow in loyal acknowledgement of my personal presence, and now Prince Namor is no longer alone. But the next day, the nervous alien leads the Avengers to a remote deserted isle, and then... It is there, directly below the spot where my ship is hopelessly buried at the bottom of the sea. Nothing is hopeless to the Avengers, pal. We'll free it for you somehow. It is I found it, 100 feet below. Only the tail section is protruding. Meanwhile, minutes later, my muscles are twice normal size. Cap, but I can't even budget. We've got a certain job on our hands. The one you call Thor asked me to position this waterproof closed-circuit TV camera over the hole. I'll release a buoy to hold it in place. And then how are they going to do this? The camera in position, the Avengers spend the rest of the afternoon building a secure platform for the Thunder God to stand on. Okay, Thor, this wraps it up. What's your next move? Well done. Now stand back, my friends. A power greater than any of you has ever witnessed is about to be unleashed upon this spot. And now, what is he going to do? Sighting upon the entrapped spaceship through his TV viewer, the mighty Thor slowly rotates his enchanted hammer over the hole, directing an irresistible torrent of cosmic magnetic waves towards the alien craft. Sure, I'll buy it. That makes sense. Steadily, with ever-increasing force, they pull at the heavy object without let up, without ever slacking, until finally, it's worked. You have freed the ship, Thor. Why do you sound surprised? Was that not my intention? Oh, you have kept your word. Now I can repair my ship in minutes and depart from this wretched planet. Now that it's floating free, the water makes it almost weightless. Leave it here. I'll make my repairs under the water, safe from prying eyes. Suit yourself, mister. As long as you hit the road, we don't care how you do it. And that's that. I wonder what the AAA would have to say about the alien had called them for emergency repairs. You know, a giant man, I like your style. You Avengers make a great team. In fact, I was wondering. But Captain America's sentence is cut short by a thunderous explosion which rocks the little isle at the split second. And then the startling Avengers recover their equilibrium they are amazed to see Namor and a squad of undersea warriors. You see before you the accursed enemy, my brave followers. Attack! Fight shoulder to shoulder with your prince. Oh my god, this is bad. Thought the first onslaught was unexpected. The devastating the Avengers battle trained reflexes are equal to the challenge. You'll have to do better than that, laughing boy. Oh, you'll get your wish, Iron Man. Namor will do better. Your iron armor cannot save you from the Sea Monarch's attacks. I'll have to act fast. His fists are like living sledgehammers. My armor cannot take it much longer. Send fucking Thor after him. Quickly processing a concealed stud on his control panel, Iron Man unleashes the full force of his transistor-powered magnetic repulsor. Now I've got to hope I can think of something fast. At full intensity, my magnetic ray will only last a few seconds. But no longer do the miniaturized transistors lose their power. Then the enraged Namor catches a nearby boulder and then, fool, you have exhausted your greatest weapon and now I am stronger than ever. While my loyal warriors prevent the others from coming to your aid, I'll give you a small demonstration of my imperial might. Oh, he has smashed that huge bolter like an eggshell. The flying chunks are hitting me. And then I will destroy the Avengers, one at a time. It will afford me far greater satisfaction this way. Oh, I've got to hold out just a few minutes longer. Soon my transistors will build up their power peak again, and then I'll make the arrogant fishman change his tune. But meantime, the Wasp observes Iron Man's desperate plight. Namor is merciless. I've got to help. Perhaps if I take a capsule and become Wasp size. You fight valiantly for a human, but this is your finish. I'll smash your built-in hand weapons before they can be used against me. But at that moment, a small, insistent, dazzling object flies frantically around Namor's head, temporarily blinding the battling sea. Oh, what is this? I cannot see. My lord, leave the Man of Iron. Come to our aid. Sire, we are sorely besieged. Well, yeah, they're fighting the Avenger. Oh, yeah, it's Thor, clearly. There's like 10 of them against Thor. Dizzy and exhausted, the Wasp flies off as Namor turns from Iron Man and rushes to answer his lieutenant's call for help. It is Thor. He is holding my men at bay with that wretched hammer of his. Show yourself, Namor. I tire of wasting my strength on these lowly minions of yours. I crave a foe more worthy of my mettle. Fall back. Wait for the command of my lord Namor. Are they as powerful as Namor? Or is Namor the only one who has enhanced strength? Are all Atlanteans like that? Quickly, before the others reach us, concentrate your firepower on Thor from the safe distance. Keep him reeling while I attack him with my bare hands. But it will not work, because no mere earthly weapon can make the Thunder God reel. See how easily my enchanted hammer deflects their energy bolts into the ground? And then the energy from our ray guns is traveling back to us, and then bam, he got him with the counter. We are no match for Thor, the Submariner must conquer him alone. And then, with the force and fury of the raging seas, Namor strikes. When you swing that hammer, you're invincible, but I'll see to it that you never swing it again. Witless mutant! This is no human you attack, this is the mighty Thor! Meanwhile, what of the third Avenger and Captain America? They had both been hurled back into the sea by the earth-shattering blast, which heralded Namor's attack, and now we find Giant Man at the brink of disaster. What is that? Oh, they have him in a net and they're dragging him underneath. I can't hold my breath much longer. Only one chance, my reducing capsule. In the wink of an eye, the double-sized adventurer becomes Ant-Man and easily swims to freedom through the now limp ropes. I've made it. I wonder what happened to Captain America. There's no time to search for him now. My ant size is fine for escaping ropes, but I don't want to end up my days as fish food. I better become Giant Man. And so, strange still, no sign of Captain America. Nor do I see the Submariner, I wonder. But then wait, over there, Iron Man is battling against heavy odds. Perhaps I can even them by just a bit. And if all you bully boys enjoy ganging up on one man, try me for size. Whoa, I notice you're not whooping it up so much now. Now go back from the depths you came. We've no quarrel with you. It is your power-mad prince of yours that we're after. Thanks, big fella. I'll handle a few that are left now. You'd better see how Thor's making out. Will do, partner. But I wonder, what happened to Captain America? We haven't seen him since that blast hurled us both into the water. Where is our prince, the mighty Namor? Without him, we are as nothing. And he has hurled himself into hand-to-hand battle with the long-haired Thunder God. Let us pray that our leader triumphs. Well, in that battle, Thor is actually technically stronger than Submariner. Well, Cap is a big boy now. He can look after himself. I sure hope he didn't run out on us. So here you are, laughing boy. Once I get that accursed hammer away from you, I'll show you who's the strongest, Thor. You can't. You literally can't steal his hammer. It's impossible. You'll use that as an excuse, Sea Prince. You know that I alone can lift my enchanted mallet. Meanwhile, a sharp-eyed, colorful figure watches everything that transpires, branding all the amazing details into his memory. I know so little about this new crop of costume crime fighters. My best bet is to watch them in action and see how powerful they really are. Their courage is undeniable. Even the Submariner is a fearless foe. If there had been such men in my day, what epic battles we might have fought. But Thor's hammer, it's the most awesome weapon I've ever seen. Ooh, you spoke the truth. Even my more than human power cannot raise it from the ground. Stand back. Part of its enchantment is that it must always fly back to me. And now, in the name of the Avengers, I order your surrender. Surely you see that further resistance is futile. Never. Even now, my loyal warriors regroup themselves. We shall fight to the last man. Very well, Namor. Let whatever befalls them be upon your own head, your own inhuman conscience. Step aside, Thor. I've been itching to tangle with the water rat when he didn't have the advantage of a surprise attack. Still, stop! I still have an ace in the hole. You forgot about what? The boy. He is our prisoner, and he is our hostage. Oh no! They kidnapped Rick Jones. Wait, Rick? Am I getting Rick Barnes? No, there's too many teenagers in these comics. The lad is in danger. This I will not tolerate. Don't worry about me, guys. Clobber these goons once and for all. Make one move towards me and the boy's life is... Wait, what? Another one? But who? The name's Captain America, Namor. I'll make sure that you'll never forget it. I have tolerated enough indignities this day. Now my vengeance shall be swift and sure and without mercy. He's stronger than me, but I'll find a way to outmaneuver him. But at that moment, thunderous eruption shakes the tiny isle as a deafening roar is heard from beneath the surface. It is the island, it's breaking apart. And then before the eyes of all that present a titanic undersea explosion hurls a towering spray of sea, mud, and stone into the air. Back to the depths, my warriors, we have won. The sea itself shall destroy our enemies. Even the Avengers cannot survive a gigantic undersea earthquake, yet, for some reason, my heart is heavy. They were worthy foes. They deserved a more fitting end. But as he is to later learn, the Submariner has acted too hastily, for it is not an undersea earthquake which has occurred. It is merely the below-surface launching of the alien ship. And by the time the strange craft emerges from the deep, Namor and his followers are already out of sight. Not until later will the irony of the situation dawn upon the frustrated Sea Prince. For the very alien he had hoped would destroy the Avengers was unwittingly rescued them at the very crucial moment. It is the alien. He is returning to the stars. The waters have subsided and the island is still intact, but Namor is gone, and so is our chance to defeat him. Easy, lad, it's all over, you're safe now. I noticed it took a threat to the boy to bring you into action, fella. Though Namor is gone, I feel we shall meet him again, in mortal combat. But one of us is still not present. I thought you'd never notice, Blue Eyes. I was doing what any girl would do in a moment of crisis. Powdering my nose, of course. Only one thing puzzles me when I write this down in my diary. Do I call it a victory or a defeat? Well, that's for history to decide, hun. Right now, we've another decision to await. Right, we have an offer to propose to Captain America. I have seen you in battle, and there are none braver. If your offer is what I hope it is, then the answer is yes. You have spoken with honor and dignity, like a man. Thus, we are privileged to witness a momentous moment in the annals of high adventure. We welcome you, Captain America, to the rank of the Avengers. But there is still one whose heart is still heavy, still filled with dreaded fear. He is the greatest guy I've ever met, and I can tell he wants me to be his partner. But what about the Hulk? He's sure to return someday, and when he finds out that Captain America has replaced him, will anything be able to stop him then? But nothing in life is certain, and we must take good and bad as fate deals them out. One thing is certain, though, next issue of Avengers will have more superheroes, supervillains, and super thrills just as you want them. Actually, the next issue, I believe, is Attack of the Lava Men, which is a decent issue, if not the most important issue. But it was very important that we read this before we get into the Masters of Evil, because this explains how Captain America came from being lost to joining with the Avengers, where otherwise he was completely absent from the Marvel Universe for a good 20-something years. Because of course this takes place in the 1960s, and he disappeared in the Actually, it wasn't even that. He went from 1940 to like... Well, I don't know. But in Marvel continuity, he had been missing for something like 20 years. But yeah, and also it foreshadows Captain America's analog, who he will be facing in the Masters of Evil. But for now, that's it for this comic book. If you liked reading this comic with me and you want to read more comics with me, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Until next time, nerds, stay heroic.